everyone, day 9 in Spain, Madrid here of lockdown. Today I wanted to share a few things that are different from yesterday. I will also provide at the end kind of analysis, but today I wanted to show you how governments can do this crisis management different, basically managing it from the very beginning. So I want to share with you a short video about South Korea, where the foreign minister explains why they are so successful. And we look later on the data of South Korea also and compare it with developments in Italy and Spain, so you can see what a real professional public management means for the lives and also for the future of a country. Today I wanted to share you the case of South Korea. I would really title this A Reliable Government, the No Shutdown Policy. So what Korea did is really outstanding. I will share a video just after this short analysis with you. So you listen to the foreign minister of South Korea, why they were so successful with their strategy. First of all, look at this. We look at this, that South Korea was impressively effective with the lockdown. They just went over, didn't even get to 1,000 new cases per day, quickly get it down. And South Korea did not lock down the country. They just ran intensive and extensive testing on everyone who looked like a possible COVID-19 case. And then they stabilized very quickly. See, from March 10, basically, they are stable in terms of new cases. The daily deaths also are very stable around, look, the max is 8 until today. Yesterday was, I think, 7. So the death rate of Korea is at 3.3%. So that's clearly a success case, how you can manage COVID without locking down the country, doing it absolutely different. I will share the video now with you.
You've also got the most extraordinary testing system. You're testing, I think, 20,000 people a day,
Yes.
which is far more than any other country of your size. How have you managed to achieve this, and why is testing central to what you're doing?
Well, first of all, testing is central because that leads to early detection. It minimizes further spread, and it quickly treats those found with the virus. That's the key behind our very low fatality rate as well. I think our system quickly approved the testing system. After the Chinese authorities released the genetic sequence of the virus in mid-January, our health authorities quickly conferred with the research institutions here and shared that result with pharmaceutical companies, who then produced the reagent and the equipment needed for the testing. And so I think our testing is nearly 250,000 at this point, 268,000 as of today.
That's remarkable. The other thing that you do, of course, is that you monitor people afterwards. You're not going into the same kind of lockdown, social
Yes.
exclusion that a lot of European countries are, but instead you're monitoring people by phone app. Again, can you explain why you're doing that and not closing down large chunks of your country?
Well, I think this is being faithful to the values of our very vibrant democracy, which is open and, the government fully in the service of the people. And I have to say our public is very demanding, expects the highest standards from government services. And I think this is the key. We are monitoring very closely the inbound traffic. We have also put in place vetting of outbound traffic so that we minimize the risk coming in from the inbound traffic, but also make sure that we do our very best to contain the spread within country, but also taking steps to vet those with possible symptoms among those who are leaving the country.
The number of new cases is slowing down.
This video is available on my channel. I share it in the playlist, the COVID-19 playlist. So just check where this video is. You can find a few videos there. Also the one of the professor of microbiology, Stanislaw Nistal, who explains everything around Corona, but it's in Spanish. We have our data from since yesterday. As you can see, good news from Italy. Clearly, we have a trend already. We have 2 days in a row where the daily death rate goes significantly down. For now, again, another 50 people less died yesterday, while worrying, obviously, for myself living in Spain, that Spain dramatically increased now to 539. We're very close now to Italy, and the problem is we are still raising. We can also observe that what I said yesterday, the data for Germany, UK goes up while the United States is climbing as expected. I will also, the next few days, we'll look closer to Korea and China to see how they evolve after successful different strategies. You can see that very stable, both countries since quite some time, since more than 10 days, since the 12th of March, 10th of March even, stable. And what worries me about China is that I've seen new cases going up again. You can see here, they started to go down, went down to 1120. Then now, last 5-6 days, we can see increased data here, more new cases, 78, doubled from the day before. That looks like that the virus is getting back into China. Maybe people that flying back into China, they're starting to infect others. So we'll see how China manage this impact. So recoveries also, just today, the first time I will share with you the recoveries. Daily recovery is also important to watch. You can see that Italy, the data is not very consistent yet. The good news in Spain, we look at more and more people are recovering. Also in Italy, we have seen that before, but the data is much more inconsistent. Checking into Italy first regarding, we said yesterday we are in the daily peak window. Looks like we have hit it just the first day we expected it, hopefully. So we're in the middle of that period. And then we are looking at the death rates. Well, we are still have the same death numbers, so we have to wait here. If we have really hit the peak, or it would be very early, we expect the peak later. If it would coincide with the daily new peak, we could expect this around the 29th of March here. If it's earlier, much better news. The X factors, multiplicators. Yesterday we shared with you. We can see that since yesterday, when Italy crossed with Spain, we're almost close. Now Spain jumped up to 12 times more than China at the same day after lockdown, where Italy, as we said, it just looks like a bit better, improved. Then daily death, we still see logarithmic exponential growth in the countries we're observing, both for daily new deaths and daily new cases. So that's everything from today. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is March 23rd, 2020, day 8 of the lockdown here in Madrid, in Spain. Well, I had a good call this afternoon with my team here at Teradata. And what we did, we asked everyone just to give one single advice for what you could do to overcome this. And I just want to check my notes, and what was really interesting, everyone had a good idea. So one said, exercise, don't stop your exercise, train. He also suggested to prepare fresh fruit and vegetable cocktails like smoothies, and also keep the distance, which was great. Then another one said that we should also think deeply about what will change in our lives after this coronavirus. Value your time more than before. Don't hassle just through your life and chase things like money, travel, and all these things. We now find out how valuable time is and how we can spend time with our relatives, with our friends more, get closer. That's one of the other points that was mentioned. Another one from the Netherlands said, well, you also have to think on the good side of the virus. I can see the sky and the stars at night again in Amsterdam. They couldn't see them before. So he suggests to think about the positive impact that has on the environment. So every cloud has a silver lining. That is his takeaway here. And so also more an attempt to think about what's going on here, how that could impact us positively as well. Then another one, he's living also in Amsterdam in an environment of 150 apartments. He said, when I moved in here, I only knew 5 neighbors. So what happened now due to the crisis, we have created a WhatsApp group, all the neighbors in one WhatsApp group, and basically have done that to help the elderly and the people in need. So that's bringing the neighborhoods closer together, get away from the anonymity of these huge housings, and to get closer again and know each other much better. That's another takeaway here. Then another one, a friend of mine sitting in Bilbao in the north of Spain. He has 3 little kids. And he said, very important is also keep the routines as they were. So his message is make business as usual, even if it's unusual how you do it. But keep your routines, keep your timetables. Tell the kids it's not vacation. Even if they're at home, the school is as important as it was before, even if they do it now remotely. So keep this as well as one of the good hints here. Then, getting closer to your family again. People all over the world have the same problems. Sooner or later, we run into the same issues like we have in Italy and in Spain. So that's another point I really like. Use that time wisely, reconnect, call, listen, have good conversations with your friends and family. Time you never had before, and now you can really use your time and get close again to your best friends, your family, and maybe somebody you haven't called for the last 5-10 years. More coffee breaks, virtual coffee breaks, virtual lunch together with your friends and family as well, something that came up at the end. And that would be the positive takeaways from today's 1-hour call I host every Monday now at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, to just have that kind of conversation also with them to get over this.